Later this month sees the release of the third world update for Microsoft Flight Simulator, the UK and Ireland. This update should be a pretty significant one, taking a visit to the entire country, updating many points of interest and even updating much of the terrain. In this video I'm going to take a look at some of the points of interest and I hope to get a rework along with some of the areas. But let's start with one area which already is very nice. This right here is Pen y Fan in Wales, right in the middle of the Brecon Beacons, a lovely area and one I've visited more than once. A few miles to the east is one of the connections between Wales and England. This is the Prince of Wales Bridge, and right here it doesn't look particularly great and will certainly need a rework. It's one of the longest bridges in the country, so hopefully that's something that actually happens. The situation in London, meanwhile, in Microsoft Flight Simulator is a very well-known story. It's extremely underrepresented and, well, a very cursory look here will show many things that are wrong with it. This right here is an iconic point of view from London, the Shard, and in the distance, the Tower Bridge. On the opposite side of the Thames though, many buildings are missing, including the iconic Gurkha. The HMS Belfast is going to need a complete rework as right now it's non-existent, some satellite terrain underwater. And here is the financial centre of London, the financial centre of the United Kingdom, Canary Wharf. It needs a huge amount of work done to it. Whilst there are some tall buildings here, they're all completely entirely wrong. But that cannot be said at the moment for the Houses of Parliament, which actually look pretty decent. But whilst the Palace of Westminster and Big Ben are in pretty good shape, the same cannot be said for a nearby palace, Buckingham Palace. The Queen Victoria Memorial outside has seen some improvement with the blows of houses removed, but the palace itself is a lot to be desired. I'm 100% certain that's something that will be fixed. Further south are the famous White Cliffs of Dover. If someone was flying over here at an extreme height, they wouldn't look too bad, but up close they do seem to have some severe issues, particularly if anyone wanted to walk or drive along the pathway here. Following the landscape to the west, one will eventually come to the Jurassic Coast. This right here is known as Durdle Door. It ranks among the most impressive beaches within the entire United Kingdom. I took some photos of it on my previous trip, which you can see in the top corner of the screen. This is seriously a stunning location, but right now it leaves a lot to be desired. Hopefully then it's an area that Asobo have on the cards for giving a massive overhaul and rework to. And sticking with the south of England, I think we have right here what could be quite reasonably argued one of the most famous sites in the world, Stonehenge. From up above, the satellite photography here looks pretty decent and looks a very good representation of the area, but once you get down low you can see it just doesn't work at all. An area then which I'm fully expecting to see completely reworked. Now keep in mind, none of the scenes within this video are complaints or pulling apart anything that Asobo have done, which of course they have done some amazing work on Flight Simulator. But as with the previous update to the USA, I wanted a record for a before and after comparison. So this will give us a bit of an indication of how things stand right now, something we can check back on in a future date. Elsewhere in the Microsoft Flight Simulator community, developers Orbix have made an update about their upcoming software, Valenta. Now Valenta is a flight tracking and flight planning software that will be available for Microsoft Flight Simulator users. This is a separate tool that apparently will be free to use, although will have a few premium features. The highlight of the tool is that it will have some rather exquisite looking maps and will be able to track all flights in real time. Additionally, Orbix in their latest development update have stated that Valenta now has integrated VATSIM ATC coverage, and this is going to be particularly significant for those people who actually use that. Here's some additional features that Orbix have stated will be in the roadmap for the software. There'll be integrations. They say they're planned to integrate many more simulators and services, including the DCS World, Infinite Flight, Flight Gear, and some others. Get notifications to your mobile device when you're reaching the top of your descent. Get notified when your friends go online and start flying. There's going to be schedules, imitate real-world flights with up-to-date real-world schedules. Streaming tools, including a comprehensive overlay, a Twitch bot, and a Twitch extension. There's also going to be more challenges. This includes mini-games, interactive challenges, and multiplayer challenges. So that's where it is at the moment. Currently it's in invite-only form, and as far as I can tell, right at the moment there's not any release date just yet. Altogether, something I'm quite looking forward to seeing more of. In other news, developer Iris Simulations have announced that they're working on the classic Hornet FA-18C for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And this is following on from their previous announcement of the FA-39 Vampire. Currently there's not a lot of information on these, but you can see a couple of preview screens right here. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.